I'm Terry Kawaja of LUMA Partners, and I'm here with my old friend Mark Zagorski, CEO of Double Verify. Mark, we are mere hours away from your recent announcement of the acquisition of Scibids. Tell us about the deal.
Yeah, it's first of all, thanks for joining today at Terry's Corner. We're super excited about the acquisition. I think it's part of our ongoing evolution as a company, as DV, to really evolve from protecting media spend to helping driving performance from that media spend. And Scibids is going to play a really big part of that moving ahead.
So that brings me to an interesting point. You have been known for verification, so protecting the downside of safety and fraud and viewability and the like. But this is really an emphasis. It's really a continuation of a move that you made years ago to try and get in front of, help people with growth, help people with efficacy.
Absolutely. I mean, we've always looked at verification and what we do around, for example, invalid traffic and viewability as being something of taking garbage out of the system, right? When you take garbage out of the system, you're increasing performance just by doing that, right? Because what's left is going to work better. Yep. When we moved into programmatic applications in 2015, it was the next evolution of, once you measure and get rid of the stuff on verification side, let's filter out before we even bid on this programmatically against criteria like suitability and most recently around criteria like attention. Right. So it's an ongoing evolution of our business from cleaning out media quality issues to actually enabling people programmatically to filter out and find the best impressions that are left after that.
And there was some positioning around the notion of going after more performance on behalf of your clients. And we've been talking, at LUMA, I've been talking about performance for years. Yeah. It seemed like the mobile gaming folks, they got performance right away, that sort of tight connection between lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. But on the general brand side, I think people are coming around to this notion that performance matters and driving business outcomes. And presumably this capability will help you accelerate that.
Yeah, no, it's a great point, because there's been this false bifurcation between this idea that you're either a performance advertiser or you're a brand advertiser, which is totally not true. All advertising is meant to sell something or drive an outcome, right? And I think when you look at what we've focused on as a company, as we start our conversation, is around, well, media quality is one step in driving an outcome, making sure that you're dealing with good media. But then when you start refining what's left, you're driving towards a specific outcome. Now, performance-based advertisers, some criteria like viewability, or even some cases around brand suitability, were always seen as binary to them. That hurts their performance. Right. Like,
blacklist, whitelist.
Right. This is suitable, not suitable, viewable, not viewable. Well, what may work for them is a little bit more fluidity, right? So the ability to use algorithmic optimization like Scibids does is, hey, let's turn down our viewability criteria a little bit and see what that does for performance on our ROI criteria. Let's, brand suitability, let's lower the sensitivity a bit, or heighten the sensitivity a bit, either way, and let's see what that does to performance. It doesn't make it a binary exclusionary process now on the filtering side, and I think that's what's really exciting. I think that's what's going to attract more pure performance advertisers to DV solutions and to Scibids in particular.
Right. I want to talk about the two of the biggest, I'm going to say letters in all of technology: AI. Scibids utilizes AI in order to do the optimization. And yet, of course, it's all the buzz these days. And I am noticing lots of companies calling themselves AI. Scibids was actually AI back from its founding in 2016. Yeah. A lot of buzz about maybe, generative consumer apps, but we're of the view that the real application where AI really comes to benefit a lot of areas of tech is on the B2B side in software. Yeah. Presumably you're of that same view.
100%. I think, a lot of the buzz that you hear around AI has to do with, here's how AI is going to change how efficient we are. Here's how AI is going to change what we do internally. What's unique about Scibids is AI is who they are. I mean, it's a product. Right. Their AI actually is a separate product that allows advertisers to optimize against multiple different KPIs in a single bid. That's a product. We're not buying something that makes DV's classification more seamless or allows us to move into more languages quicker. Those are things we're doing on our own through our own, machine learning capabilities and AI capabilities. The AI that Sybids has developed is a true product that will add an incremental item to our basket of goods, but also totally changes the way advertisers can approach implementing third-party data, including our data, into the bid stream and the bid optimization process and drive better results for them. It is a result-driving, true product solution.
Right. I find the litmus test is look at the CV of the founders. And in this instance, Remy and Julien, they have advanced AI degrees from like a decade ago. So it's clear these were the true AI guys from the start.
Absolutely. And look, that is no small reason why we think this acquisition is so exciting for us, is that we're getting great talent. Yep. These are some really young, smart guys who approached programmatic well before AI was even thought of as part of the equation. When everyone was kind of still buying static segments, I want to buy auto buyers and buy them through platform X. They've basically said, well, why are you choosing one criteria that is filtering something out as a proxy when you can tell us what you want at the end of this process
Just
give us all the data and we'll decide on each impression what's going to help you get there best. And I think that's the advancement is everything. When you look at programmatic is now 85% of digital media spend, right? X search. I think we are in the early days of AI being 85% of all bidding in programmatic as well.
We said the same thing at our recent digital media summit. We touted, because of course we sort of take it upon ourselves to parse these trends, which ones are real, which ones aren't. Sometimes we get in trouble for calling balls and strikes, like metaverse and crypto and Web3 nonsense, which we clearly thought was nonsense at the outset. But AI feels like, from both the business applications and other applications, it pretty much is going to affect every company. And you have to radically rethink your product strategy, your go-to-market, and your talent composition, because it feels like it's going to be a step function game changer.
For sure. And obviously we believe that. We believe it's the advancement of our current solutions that we have in programmatic. It advances our relationships with the platform. So we've got great relationships with folks like Trade Desk and Google DV 360 and Xandr, where our products have already been implemented. And this is just an advanced version of those products in the future.
And just to be clear, there's no conflict here. You are helping those companies perform. You're not competing with any of those media buyers.
No, as a matter of fact, you're exactly right. Those are the platforms of record. And what they want is, hey, more spend. Bring me more spend, right? Bring more advertising in here and let's make it work better. And Sybids plug into those is as an agnostic decision-making engine, right? That works with the decision-making engines that they've all built to make their systems better. Trade Desk recently launched Kokai, which is all about creating an open ecosystem of partners to plug in. Google DV 360 has done the same thing, which is let's build APIs to allow people to bring their own algos. So I think this is, again, just a continuation of the DSP as the platform of programmatic record and people bringing data, decision engines, all independent of what that platform does, but in the best interests of the advertiser.
So you're touching media, but you're doing that through the lens of bringing data and software to help media perform better.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not buying or selling any media. We're not in the buying transaction. We're helping them decision the same way we help them decision on brand safety and suitability and invalid traffic. We're giving them one more tool to help them make that decision.
Right. And I think it's going to be a necessary tool. The whole digital advertising ecosystem is going through a massive change right now, away from third-party cookies due to privacy and deprecation towards first-party cookies, known identity and sort of consented identified users. And that's all well and good, but it doesn't scale. Ultimately, we're going to need an ability to do probabilistic audience targeting in order to make your campaigns work across your larger target audience writ large. Feels to us like the only way to kind of get there in a privacy-centric world, AI.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think, for such an advanced industry that we're in when it comes to technology, we are really slow sometimes in making change. And I think the reliance on cookies and third-party cookies is still pretty high. And there's going to be a real comeuppance at one point where everyone's like, whoa, what just happened? Why did all those cookies go away? And we're going to need to have some predictive modeling. We're going to need to be able to base outcomes on other pieces of data that can drive that decision. And AI is going to have to be part of that equation.
Yep. So with the SciBids acquisition, you're picking up an incredible French entrepreneurial team. We love French ad tech. But you're
Le ad tech, is that what we call it?
Yeah, exactly. Technologie plus, I can't pronounce it. My French not that good. So Remy and Julian are like incredible entrepreneurs, and the rest of the team at SciBids. This comes with some trepidation. You were bringing entrepreneurs into a bigger company. You've been an entrepreneur acquired by a bigger company. How are you going to harness their skill set and integrate them into your company while still maintaining that sort of entrepreneurial spirit?
Yeah, it's a great question, Terry. And as you've noted, I've been in that seat, right? I've been the guy brought into the big company who came in with wide eyes and was like, oh my God, what did I just do? So I've got some learnings, and we want to make sure that we don't make the mistakes a lot of larger companies do, which is you suck the life out of an acquisition that exactly what you wanted. And instead of you infecting your company with their greatness, you infect their company with your slowness. Right. That's antithetical to what we're doing here. We're bringing great, smart people who have a competency that we don't have. Right? This is why we're acquiring them, because they bring this not only intelligence around AI, but the magic of entrepreneurial thinking. And we want to keep that alive. We're still not a big company. Right. We still look at ourselves as an advanced startup, right? And we want to keep that spirit alive. That means keeping great people in SciBids around, making sure they have runway and resources to continue to do what they do, but giving them access to what we've learned and our connections as well to help grow that business.
Also, it isn't your first rodeo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've done acquisitions and successfully integrated. So obviously there's no doubt you're applying some of maybe the horror stories of your past and make sure that you do it right this go around. Remy and Julian are just incredible entrepreneurs. I remember met Remy at the AdTech France meeting in 2021. We had him on stage at DMS in 2022 because you could just sort of see this sort of optimization focus was critical to the future. You clearly have balanced your growth with organic measures as well as inorganic measures. Is that the formula you see going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really strong core value prop of our core solutions that will continue to grow. And we look at kind of M&A as doing three things for us. Advancing our global footprint. So we look for acquisitions like Meetrix, which put us in new geographies much faster and where we can kind of move customers on our platform. We look at roadmap accelerators, where things that we want to do, but we just can't do them fast enough. So can we inject some DNA into the company to do so? And we look at product adjacencies. Where can we kind of clip on a new product or add one into our basket of goods to give us a better and bigger value prop to our customers? I think SciBids really fits the last two. Right. We certainly, I think when you look at the future, know that algorithmically based optimization is the future. And we would need to be there leveraging our data in those applications at some point. To build that and build that expertise would take a long time, right? So this will accelerate that roadmap. But it also, from day one, gives us a new product. And it truly differentiates our product set versus any other company in our space. Yep. And allows our advertiser partners to say, wow, we can now look at working with DV from end to end, from filtering and optimization out to measurement, and create a powerful loop that will help us win. And I think this fits right into our M&A narrative.
Well, this is great. This has been very helpful in terms of sort of getting underneath the covers to understand the rationale and the strategy of a transaction, which, let's face it, after you issue a press release, you do an earnings call, you do calls with analysts. Sometimes it's helpful to have a kind of dialogue where you can explore the sort of deeper meaning of why you're doing what you're doing. It was a pleasure for us to work on it with you all. We hope there's many more. So keep that inorganic growth strategy alive and well. Final question, it's a multiple choice. You have to describe this deal in one of 3 words: magnifique, incroyable, or parfait.
Oh, magnifique, because that is just that's exactly the kind of word we want to think. This is going to be magical and magnificent for us.
Well, congratulations to you, and congratulations to the Sybids team on what was a very strategic and very interesting transaction.
Absolutely. And thank you, Terry, and the LUMA team for doing some great work on this as well.
Thanks.